Hello, friend. Jim here with JB's Big Adventure, coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. And yes, as you read, there is going to be an increase in the fees to become a temporal and a permanente once you've gone through the process of going to the Mexican consulate in the States or in Canada. So we just received through the newspaper, local paper. I did some checking also online. And so the fees are going to be increasing starting next year. I should say this. It's a proposal, but from what I understand, it's going to be something that will be easily passed because of what it stands for. So let me share with you some of the bullet points that you're going to want to know about. So again, these are visa fees. So once you've gone to the Mexican consulate in the States or in Canada, they're going to take your passport, they're going to put a heat stamp on it that basically is the first half of you applying for your Mexican visa, whether a residential visa, whether it's for temporal or permanente. For the most part, it's going to be for a temporal. Once you have that and you come to Mexico, once you've gone to the Mexican consulate, they've stamped your passport, you have 180 days then to cross the border. Once you've crossed the Mexican border, now you have 30 days to get the second portion of that visa finished. So, and it's called the Kanye. So, for one, I'm going to let you know, it's important to have an attorney, an immigration attorney. I would say an experienced immigration attorney, taking care of this for you, because this can be pretty tricky if, in fact, it isn't done right. Just like Barbara and I realized, or I should say, like we experienced 4 years ago when we did our first temporal. So again, it is something that they're looking at. Now, Barbara and I just went and got our permanente, but let me share with you from the paper. It's talking about right now, it's 5,328 pesos for your temporal, which is about 290 US dollars. 290 US dollars, and that's going to be for 1 year. Now, if you get multiple years, there is a savings, but that isn't anything I have information on because, in fact, that hasn't even happened yet. So, also, they're looking at it increasing to 10,656 pesos, which is basically $580. Now, we're talking about once you're here and you hire an attorney and then you go to the I&M office and you're getting your fingerprints and you're getting your picture taken, that is where you're going to pay the fee. So again, it's right now right around 290 US dollars, 5,328 pesos. They're looking at doubling it, so twice would be 580 US dollars. That's what they state in the paper. Now, Barbara and I, as I mentioned, we just went and got our permanente. So I know there's going to be a lot of questions, folks saying, well, how much is it if we're getting our permanente? Barbara and I just had ours done. Just as a matter of like August, I think was our permanente. And she said it cost $900 for us. So that's $450 a person. There's also $150 fee that you're also charged. That is like a background check. They want to know. I think it's a way of them bringing in more funds, more money, but they do a background check apparently just to make sure that you're in good standing. And I think that's $150 per person. So $900 for your permanente, which ends up being about $1,800 for your permanente, which would possibly be in January of 2026. So, and then the attorney's fees are 6,000 pesos a piece per person. And so that's 300 US dollars there. So for a temporal, you'll be looking at right around, for a single, about $900, the $580 plus the attorney's fees. So, and here's why. The fees are for multi-year, temporary, or permanente. The permanente will also be increasing. The reasoning is they're wanting to make sure foreigners make their fair, proportional contribution on the use of the infrastructure and specialized human services and resources. Now, there's a reason why they're saying that. There are people that come here, expats, that end up getting on the IMSS health insurance, which is kind of like Medicaid in the States. I really think I'm just speaking myself. I was on Medicaid at one time in the States. I'm no longer on it. But if you're coming to Mexico, you should either work on making sure that you're a self-pay or that you get health insurance, private health insurance. There's also one other insurance plan which is done directly with San Antonio Hospital. I've got an upcoming video with, but you want to have something in place for you. If you've got Medicare Advantage, you can actually use that here on emergency or an urgent service. So for anything else, you'd be paying out of pocket. Due to the number of the expats and digital nomads, the increased demand on public services, aid in regards to governmental aid, and personnel, they see the need for equitable policy adjustments. So what does that mean to you? There's a couple things. If you're looking at making the move here, and it's something you pretty much have made a decision to do. Now, I'm not talking to the masses when I'm sharing this. I know there are those that are financially strapped. And you know what? That's okay. Barbara and I, when we came, we were living on $1,400 Social Security check, and that was Barbara's. So if you are struggling financially, what I would encourage folks to do is to, as quick as possible, visit a Mexican consulate to see about getting your temporal. Now, I've shared in other videos, there are other ways to getting qualified with your temporal, but if you're able to do that and it ends up being that they'll grant you that pass. In other words, it's a document within the Mexican immigration law that if you in fact are on Social Security or a fixed income like a pension, and you can prove that, then in Mexican law, they can actually allow you to be a temporal. Now, my immigration attorney has shared with me that that is solely up to the Mexican consulate, because obviously what they're doing is they're taking in income for Mexico. So there's probably not a lot of people that work at the Mexican consulate that know about it, but those that are directors or those that are in law that are with the Mexican consulate will be very aware of it. So what I suggest is you work towards getting your temporal. I don't know what the fee is going to be for qualifying next year, but from what I'm understanding, that's also going to increase. So the sooner that you do this, the better off that you're going to be. If you're not able to qualify, you're still able to come on a tourist visa, which basically is you just having an active passport. So those are the numbers when it comes to the qualifying amounts through the solvency program. But if you don't qualify for that, I wouldn't say don't come. I would say come check it out if it's for you. There have been other things that I know folks have actually done that's actually helping them get into the position of being able to get their temporal. So there's some things I'll be doing another video also with some of those things. So this is all information that is going to be for the Kanye, which is the second half of getting your temporal or your permanente Mexican residence here in Mexico. So I hope that's been helpful. I tried to make it very clear in regards to what it's talking about and the wide scope of it. And just know that if this was happening today, I know that Barbara and I would still come to Mexico. It's by far like our best decision that we've ever made as a couple, besides getting married. So I hope that's been helpful for you. If you have any other questions, feel free to put them down in the description. If you've got things you'd like to share just about that, feel free to go ahead and leave a comment. And also make sure that you give us a thumbs up. I have found that that is so important when it comes to YouTube getting videos out to other people to see, is how many likes or thumbs up are actually given to a video. So I would ask that you also do that, because that will help more people see this video. And I hope sooner than later, because it's involved with finances. So as always, thank you so much for being a part of this channel and being a support of this community. Have an awesome day. We'll see you on the next video.